Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I am Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly, showing you my deep, dark, bookish secret in the form of a drawer. So I did a video a little while ago talking about things that I was considering filming and not sure what to prioritize, and you lovely people hopped into the comments and said, yeah, we want to see your secret hidden drawer of books that you earn through being healthy. We want to see what you haven't shown us. So that is what I'm doing today. I'm going to hold myself accountable. No longer is it going to be like a little hidden excuse. No, I've got this book because I can just put it in my hidden drawer. It's fine. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. It's all going to be added to my physical TBR so that when I actually earn books, it's going to feel like I can read them and they count. And it's also going to feel, because I do that for being healthy. So those who don't know, the secret hidden drawer was my motivation. So it was supposed to start off with, I would just give myself a budget and buy books that month and it would go in the drawer. But then I discovered things like the world of books and how easy it is to get hold of books that you want, and they're really cheap. And the drawer has grown over these last 2 years and it's now full. There is no more room left in the drawer, and there needs to be. I don't want that many books in there. I was hoping to maybe choose out of 12 titles when I'm earning books. It's surpassed beyond. The last time I did a count, there was 60. I feel there's more than 60 in there. So we're going to see exactly how many are in there. I'm obviously going to be reunited with friends I've probably forgotten about because they've been buried at the back. I've gone off on a tangent already. So I was supposed to be telling you about my purpose of this. So the idea was, during lockdown, like everyone else, overindulged, didn't exercise, and ended up growing out of all of my clothes. My trousers no longer met. I had to do that thing you do when you're pregnant, where with your jeans you put a hair bubble around the button, and no, you tie the hair bubble through the loop and then put it around the button to hold them. Got a pair of trousers I'm still doing that with. So I would like to not grow out of any more clothes because that would be highly expensive, and just try and keep myself healthy. So I'm also doing things for like my mental health as well, because that's really good to like keep your anxiety and things on the good. So making sure I take my medication, making sure I do back exercises to stretch out my back so I don't get back pains, trying to eat at least 3 pieces of fruit a day, trying to only have 2 junk food, like a biscuit, like a line of chocolate, and that's it. And trying to go to bed early, trying to drink at least 3 glasses of water, flossing my teeth, all those things that I know are good for me that I just kind of put off and just don't really think about. So don't get me wrong, there are times when it's very important to eat chocolate for your mental health because it makes you feel good, releases endorphins, all of that jazz. But I need to push myself more, and I need to kind of get control of this drawer and earning books sort of more practically. So I need to start earning the books again because I've been slacking off, and I want to get them out and I want to get to them, but I've just been eating chocolate. So I need to kind of get myself sorted. And I think one of the reasons I've been doing that is because I know when I earn a book as well, I need to find somewhere on the shelves to put it. And I've recently done this. Look how jam-packed these are now. I don't like doing books like this. I much prefer them to be, vertical like that along the spines, but you can pack more in that way. But I still managed to keep a couple of out faces to make my shelves look pretty, and I am not going to sacrifice my out faces. So we'll see how it all goes. That's a different issue that we're going to deal with my physical TBR in another video. I'm going to focus in on the drawer. So still haven't done this yet. It is one shot in this channel. I do not edit my long videos because I have an ancient laptop that cannot cope. So I have the power of pause only to help me with this. And if I fluff up, it means there's going to be several part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 of this video. But I'm not going to fluff up. It's going to be fine. So cheers, everyone. Clink, clink, clink. Wish me luck. So that's the reason behind the drawer. But I need to be more accountable than the drawer. It can't just be a secret drawer anymore. I need to air everything, show you all that's under there, what's under there. And I'm hoping that I might be able to unhaul a few. There's definitely 2 on there that I can think of. just in case you weren't sure how many, 2. There we go, 2. Showing you my fingers for those who have not got the eyeballs for this. Tangents, waffle. 2 books that I know I'm definitely going to unhaul. So I will talk you through those when I get to them, but we might find more. I don't know. I'm gonna, at the end of this video, I'm gonna photograph them so I know exactly what's in there. And if you have thoughts and opinions on what you would like me to earn, if there's a book that you're like, I really want you to read that, please let me know. That would be really cool. And I might try and do something like when I've earned healthy points, I might do a little short of, ooh, which of these should I choose? What do you vote on? Kind of thing. But I'm going to try and do shiny new ones and old, hopefully, favourites. I need to come up with a better title for the old ones. But basically the old ones that have kind of sat there, that the shiny new ones have kind of like pushed on the top of, and I'm now forgetting the older ones. So I want to have a mixture of earning both types. Let's stop waffling. Let's do this. Let's look into this drawer. Not sure how well this is going to film, but like that is the book drawer. I do have another one over here that has a few books in, but I will come on to those in a moment and explain what they are. I think they're different. I think yeah, I think there might be a few that I've just snuck in there because of space. But anyway, let's open this. I don't know how well this is going to film, but we're going in. We're going in, and I hope it opens quite easily. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So there's also some random crappy bits in here as well. So this is the drawer. It is full. Well, let's move the recorders out of the way. They live there just because that's where they live. Look at this. Quite a few of you who know what this is will think I'm totally crazy. So this is a black box. This is a book parcel, and underneath this sticker here it says Dragon Steel, and it will say Secret Project number 3. And I've put it in there because I don't feel I deserve to open it yet, because I have not yet read 1 and 2. They're on my shelf and I haven't read them, and I totally meant to read Tress and I haven't. So I just feel I can't open Project 3 yet until I've at least read one of the others, because I'm just being greedy. I'm just being a guzzling book person without actually reading them. So it's staying in there. This is what works for me. No shame on all you guzzly book people there that put the art on your shelves and just admire it and don't worry too much about reading it. I'm very happy for you. I have other book parcels in here as well. Right, we're taking everything out. Right, let's get that one out of the way. So yeah, I've also got some more book parcels here. I know what these 2 are. So these are pre-orders that came in that I'm really excited about, that haven't earned, and I thought it would make it more exciting if when I did earn them, I pulled them out of their packaging, and also it helps protect the books as well. Okay, I'm going to try and do this in a bit more of an order. So I'm going to unearth. So look, I have a little bit of order. I've got some middle grades there. I've got middle grades that are kind of protected in hardbacks. We've got a mixture of hodgepodge, and then the idea was that I had adult ones over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of pull them out and try and give you a bit more of an order of what there is. But anyway, this is the drawer. This is how crammed it is. So yeah, here we go. We've got some books protected in this. And then all of these are books protected in different files. So let's do that. Ooh, slightly knocked my camera there. Okay, I've got some books out. I've got sort of like the adult books out. Yes, they are. I've got the adult books out. So, let's just dive right in, shall we? Let's dive right in. So first of all, I have Laini Taylor's Muse of Nightmares, which is the second book to that other book that's blue. That's a really famous fantasy book that people love, and I can't recall the name. It's over. Strange the Dreamer. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with names? That was very dramatic, wasn't it? I just caught sight of myself literally doing this. Right, anyway, second book to Strange the Dreamer. Strange the Dreamer I have earned. That was when I did my book game live, and that was a book that I earned, which is very exciting. Of course, I haven't read it yet because I don't want to start a duology yet. But when I feel ready for that one, then this one is definitely going to start becoming a priority to earn and get out from under the bed. So definitely keeping this one. This is adult fantasy. So let's pop you down there. Another adult fantasy is The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. Very excited for this one. Heard lots of people saying really good things. Mixed feelings about book 2, I've heard, but I definitely want to read this. And again, it's the start of a series, so it's kind of hanging back for me at the moment, but it's there. I then have, we got any more sort of fantasy ones? I think that's it for like the fantasy ones. So I have a historical one. I have Bernard Cornwell's The Pale Horseman. So again, it's part of a series. So I love the Last Kingdom TV series. I've only seen the first 2 series because then it got put on another channel and I never got to watch it. But me and my husband were really enjoying that. Uhtred, son of Uhtred, destiny is all. And then I found out there was a series by Bernard Cornwell. So I have The Last Kingdom. That is out. That is on my shelves, unread, because again, it's the start of a big series and I'm not ready to start any more series yet. I just need to finish off the ones I have before I pick up any more. So this is the second book. I love these covers. These are not the current covers. The current covers are a lot more like, you know, dark with like swords and armor on them. Whereas I really love these ones where you have the landscape and you have kind of more of scenes of like the army or the villages and things. So I really think this is really pretty. Look at those morning mists as the army soldiers are coming through. It just looks really cool. Anyway, that's that one. I might have to hurry up the talking if that is what I'm going to be doing every time there's a book. So more contemporary now. I have Homegoing by Yaragasi. Heard amazing things about this book. So excited. This was a charity shop steal. It's in beautiful condition. I love the cover. It's on my list. I want to read it. It's under my bed. Excited to earn it. This one could be I think this is going to be an unhaul. So this is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. I was really excited to read this because I thought the subject matter of this book sounded awesome. I also do really like the cover of Silhouette of the Child with the sort of fairy wings drawn out and little stars in the sky. So this is written by a parent of a trans child, and it is about a family that have a trans child. And kind of their life and their journey. I heard really good things about it. I thought it sounded really good, but that was a few years ago. And I know that Kevvie from Kevvie did a buddy read of this. I think she did it with her nan, and just said there were things that made her feel uncomfortable. It was a bit the things she didn't like it. And there are so many trans books by trans authors that I want to get to, that I want to read. I'm no longer feeling as excited by this one. So if I'm not excited about it, I'm not going to want to earn it. I'm going to want to earn other ones. So it's kind of just taking up space. I got it from World of Books. It's all good. And I'm going to pass it on either to a charity shop or a free little library. Okay, one unhaul. That's quite cool. I have The Bone Setter's Daughter by Amy Tan. This is a book I had totally forgotten about. What did I read by Amy Tan? Read something by Amy Tan and enjoyed it. And it's one of my colleagues from work, one of my best friends from work, who no longer work with, haven't seen her for ages, but miss her, need to get in touch. Waffle, why? Book, focus on the book. Favourite author, loves her, speaks a lot about her. This is one of the books that she said was really, that she loved. So I am very keen to read it. It has got a really interesting premise about the author's Chinese heritage. So keen to give it a go. So there we go. That's another book. Stop waffling. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale, historical fiction. Heard really good things about this one. So many people talk about how much they love Kristen Hanna. I really want to read one by her, and I really want to try this one. So look at this edge. Isn't it cool with the teal and the gold foiling? And this was Waterstones were doing. They had a selection of books that if you bought them, they would give a certain amount of money to the Ukraine. So I thought that could only be a good thing, and I definitely needed to earn this one. So there we go. I now have a poetry collection, and this is utterly the fault of Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe. I always increase my TBR every time I watch her videos, and she was talking about Citizen, An American Lyric by Claudia Ranke, and just how she really enjoyed, is it poetry or is it like mixtures of stories? What does it say? It's a collection. Not entirely, I think it's actually a collection of like bits and pieces. I'm not sure what it is, but when Olivia was talking about it, it sounded really cool. So I ordered it from the Feminist Bookshop during lockdown and have yet to earn it. So this is one of the options. A new one that has literally just come into my house is Paris Dalincourt is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall, which is a romance book. So excited for that one. Okay, and now we're going to get out. Oh, I have a couple of books, bags. Oh yeah, no, they're not adults. We're going to come on to those ones later. Here we go. Oh, before we do that, I also have Roots by is it Malcolm X? No, Alex Howley. It was along the list. I was wanting to read some books by Malcolm X and couldn't get hold of them, but this one was on the list of books. Anyway, so this is Roots by Alex Harley. It says it's a classic, and I have been wanting to read more about this period in history, about the Africans who were wrongfully imprisoned and treated like property, and their lives and their journeys. So this sounded like a good one. So I have this. It is really big. It's really big, so it could be a bit intimidating. So I think when I'm ready for a big book diving in, this will be great for that. And then I have two pretty hardbacks, and oh, they're so pretty. They've been protected by this bag. So I have This Lovely City by Louise Hare. And this tells a story of people who came over on the Windrush to London and were starting to make a life for themselves. And it's all kind of like about the Black community sort of within that time period. And I think it's a love story going on between a couple of people. And it says on the back, the drinks are flowing, the music is playing, but the party can't last. So this is a book I really wanted to read after watching BBC programme about a book club, Between the Covers, with Sarah Cox. And this was one of the books that they were talking about, that they all read, and just hearing them talk about it, hearing the author talk about it, it just sounded fantastic. So I ordered it, and they're a really pretty cover, and we have some lovely end pages here, and we have white underneath with this lovely city in gold, and I love the artwork. Here we go, look, we've got a couple dancing here, and I think these are the protagonists of the story. So excited to get to this one as well. And then I have, this is another Olivia recommendation when she was talking about novels in verse that she really enjoyed. This is Blood, Water, Paint, and it is, I think it's a historical novel about either the daughter of an artist or she wants to be an artist. It probably would help if I actually knew what I was talking about, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah, so her father is a painter. Possibly a bit of abuse in there. I think this it has a lot of feminist things in here, and it just from Olivia talking about it sounds beautiful, and it's a novel in verse. It feels so nice. The cover just feels so nice. And I think, oh, we've got like a nice purpley maroony, yeah, more maroon. Oh look, there we go, look, we've got a paint splat, silver paint splat with blood, water, paint underneath here. So nice being reunited with all of these, and then I need to put them back. Hopefully it'll give me good incentive to do healthy things so I can get them out from under my bed. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any more adult books under there. If not, I'll move on to YA or middle grade. Yeah, I have more adult books. So far, we are on 11 books, which I'm just writing down so I don't forget. So I have, oh yes, got 8 more. We'll see what else I find. So I'm not taking these off, but the 2 Waterstones parcels. Not sure which one is which, but one is, okay, let's do the one I know. One is The Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, I just feel I need to like really earn that one. And the other one is The Sun and the Void. I can't remember who wrote it, so I probably should have a little look. So this is Puppets, and this is, yes, Gabriela Romero La Cruz. Looks so, God, I'll show you that. There you go, look. There you go. Look at the spine. It looks so pretty. It's purple and white with a golden sun, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And this copy has got purple sprayed edges. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And this one, The Lives of Puppets, this has also got sprayed edges. I think I checked, because if it didn't, I was going to be really annoyed and disappointed. So I think I did check. Yes, it's got sprayed edges. So it's got green sprayed edges, and it should have like where the cover kind of continues across the edges, which is awesome. So there we go, 2 books that are hardback, beautiful, and I'm really excited about those fantasy sci-fis. We have more fantasy books here. So I have The Tiger and the Wolf by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Really want to read some Adrian Tchaikovsky. I have, oh, I moved, no, it's not, it's still there, just here. The Doors of Eden, which is a sci-fi, so I'm hoping to read that. It's a standalone, and I want to read more sci-fi, but he also has a fantasy series which sounds really, really cool, and the first book being The Blood of the Wolf. So I have this one to see if I like it and get the rest of the series. We'll find out. We will find out. Again, it's that series thing that's what's holding me back. And on that note, again, I have The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I really want to read some N.K. Jemisin, and I want to start with this series. I can't remember the name of it. The Inheritance trilogy. So yeah, I want to read the Inheritance trilogy first before, if enjoying that, going on to the Broken Earth trilogy. So I have the first book. I'll see what happens when I earn it. This one, although there is a second book, I think it can just be a standalone. I know that is what Abby from Abby Salter recommended, so got excited by this one. And this is The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith, and it is about someone who is a librarian in hell and is responsible for looking after all of the books and making sure they don't escape. So this sounds really cool, really exciting. I hear amazing things about it. I think the sequel is kind of hit or miss depending how you feel. So I'm definitely going to be reading that one, but will reserve judgment. So it could be read as a standalone. So we'll see. And then finally, I have a book by Elizabeth Moon called The Sheep Farmer's Daughter. Now, when was this published? It was published in 1988. So I wanted to read some fantasy that was not current, that was kind of older. And I wanted to try some female fantasy writers. And there was one of those wonderful book box videos that went round. And I think it was Jimmy Nuts put this in and was saying how amazing it was. And as soon as it went in, and after hearing him talk about it, I was like, oh, that looks like a really good book. And I wrote it on my list. And then I went to a secondhand bookshop with my mum, and they had this. So I immediately grabbed hold of this one. Then they had like another series, like there were lots of them. So obviously someone who really enjoyed her work. There were lots of like other books of this era in series. So I have also got other ones that are still at my mum's house, because that way I don't have them yet. Anyway, we have The Sheep Farmer's Daughter, which I'm very excited about. So she dreams of doing so much more for the kingdom. She refuses her father's order to do the sensible thing and marry the pig farmer down the road, and runs away to join a band of mercenaries. And I just think it sounds awesome. And it's such a big, big book. Right, gonna find some more. So we are on 19. I can't count. I thought that was 8. It's not, it's 6. So we're on 70. Can't do maths. I do have another adult book, and that is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart, which is the second book in the Drowning Empire. Yeah, the Drowning Empire series. I have the first book here, Bone Shard Daughter, not yet started because it's a brand new series. I don't want to start them yet. So this one is under the bed, but it's in hardback. It looks really cool and I'm excited. And also I'm counting the Secret Projects 3 as well. So that is actually 19 books so far, 19 adult books. And I think there are more in the other drawer, but I'm not going to open that drawer till I've done the first drawer. So there we go, that's those. Okay, I'm going to move on to YA now. So let's see what we got. This is one of my oldest books. So this is Eliza and Her Monster. One of the first booktuber channels I saw, I cannot remember the name of. I loved her shelves, and she had a lot of books to do with mental health and also LGBTQ plus books. And I had really never, staying in my just reading the same thing that's on my shelves, I'd never really come across the concept of mental health books and LGBTQ plus books. And I thought, that sounds awesome. And wrote down loads of the books that she was mentioning. This was one of the ones that I thought sounded really cool. It has moments of, so Eliza does like comic strips online. So it's got loads of little pictures of like comic strips on there. And it, I'm just going to read because I can't remember. It says, Eliza Merck is shy, weird and friendless. Online, she's Lady Constellation, the anonymous creator of the wildly popular webcomic Monstrous Sea. And then someone transfers to her school, and then she starts to like enjoy life offline. But then her secret is actually shared with the world. It says, and her life falls apart. So I think it deals with anxiety in here, it says. So I am keen to read this one. I haven't been reading a lot of YA mental health. I've got 2 other books that I've been wanting to read for a while and just never got around to it. They just haven't been calling to me as much as other ones. But I still do want to read this one. So hopefully I will start feeling it, that vibe and that mood soon. What are you in here? Oh yes. So here I believe this is YA. And it is The Deathless Girls by Kira Millward Hargrave. I have a feeling that I'm really going to love Kira Millward Hargrave. I have quite a few of her books and I would like to read more of her. I've read one now. Yay, I've read one now. So I read a Middlegrade, loved it, so I'm keen to read the rest of them. This very much gives me gothic vibes. Hopefully I will feel like earning it and reading it in the spooky season. I don't know. But the cover is gorgeous. We have all of this like foliage with snakes. Ooh, it has a snake on the cover. It's one of my prompts for the Magical Readathon that I didn't have a book for. Cha-ching! It just looks so pretty with all of the autumnal colours. And look at these end pages. Oh, and look at that. We've got wonderful gold foiling under the dust jacket with poppies and vines. This sounds really, really, it's very, very pretty. And hopefully it will sound really, really cool as well. I know I was very keen about it when I was reading it. Anyway, that's that one. Truth Witch. This is by Susan Dennard. I just read the tagline at the bottom. It says, this book will delight you by Robin Hobb. I love Robin Hobb. This is a book that I thought I'm no longer going to be excited by. Just because I got it because I heard Jade reads raving about it and really enjoying it, and they were going to do a read along of it. So I think at that point there were 3 out and the 4th one was due, and I heard a lot of people like enjoyed like the first 2 but then didn't really enjoy the 3rd one so much, and the 4th one kind of didn't really do anything for them in terms of plot, so I just kind of lost my enthusiasm for it a little bit. There are so many books now that I am much more excited to read, so I think I'm probably going to get rid of this one as well and rehome it for someone who will be more keen to read it rather than it just sitting under my bed. I have The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. And this is because what was the story? I had a picture book called Tattercopes, and the kind of concept of it sounded slightly like that one. And I know Abby from Abby Salter was saying that she really enjoyed this story when she was younger, and then everyone was talking about the Little Thieves, which is kind of like the has an anti-hero protagonist, so it's kind of like the other side, sort of based on this, which was really interesting. And I saw this on World Books and I was like, well, let's give it a whirl. So again, it's the start of a trilogy, so it's why it's under the bed, but fun fairy tale YA feelings in that one. This is one that I feel everyone knows about. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. So some people enjoy the whole trilogy. Other people have one book they prefer over others, but I think unanimously people really love this book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely. So I'm definitely going to read this book. I might get the other ones out of the library if I feel so inclined, but at some point I will read this one. Possibly going to view this more of a standalone, but I have quite a lot of YA on my shelves that I'm already reading. I haven't found myself reaching for it yet, but I do still really want to read it. And then again, another start of another series, I have Spellslinger by Sebastien de Castell. I have not yet read Sebastien de Castell. I am keen to read him after hearing both Alan from the Library of Alexandria and Jade from Jade talking about how much they loved his writing in the Greatcoat books, which my friend has, so I'm going to borrow them from him. But Spellslinger, again, I think I was in a charity shop, there we go, $1.75 in a charity shop. So I picked it up because it's the first one, and then I'll see how I get on with it and may or may not collect them depending how I feel. But again, start of a series, so not reading it yet. And finally, another start of a series. I think this is an adult series rather than YA. But it's just ended up, because it's paperback, it's just ended up with them. This is The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And it's the start of a book about a library, and who doesn't love a book about a library? So it's like, fantasy book about a library, this sounds awesome. So this is on World of Books. I'm gonna see how I enjoy it and if I want to continue the series, and yeah, there we go. So this is another book that's under the bed. I kind of want to talk about the books and where they came from and why I got them, but at the same time it's been a while since I had them, so I can't really remember what they're about. So I'm giving you very fuzzy renditions of these books, so apologies for that. I will try and be a bit quicker, I think, because we just want to get this wrapped up. So let's count these books and I'll tell you the number. Have some more YA before we move on. I also have The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. This just caught my eye because I thought it sounded really cool, about 4 siblings, a queen with big decisions to do, and it's drawing on, I think it's Indian heritage. I can't remember. I can't remember, but it's definitely Asian heritage. Feeling it's Indian, but I could be wrong, so apologies if I have got that wrong. But again, I really love the cover and kind of the strong feelings of these 2 siblings on here, and we have more on the back with the other 2 siblings. This also has queer representation in it, so I'm keen to read it. I think it's part of a series, so it's just kind of sat under my bed because I don't want to start a series. The next 2 I'm not sure if they are adult or YA or middle grade. So I believe Pet is YA. I think some people have classed it as middle grade, but I think it fits better into YA from what I have heard. This is by Akweki Emeze. I'm very keen to read their work. I have heard people raving about Pet so much that I really, really, really want to read it, and then hopefully bitter afterwards. And then I have The Black God's Drums by P. Djeli Clark, which is a novella. I have loved all of P. Djeli Clark's work that I have read, and it has just been the Dead Jin universe. So I'm keen to read a sci-fi. Again, this was another Olivia's catastrophe who got me onto this one. It just sounded really cool when she was talking about it. Actually, this was the first P. Jelly Clark I ordered before I heard about the Dead in Universe. So poor Black Goddess Drums took a backseat, but I am very keen to read this. It's a novella, and it's waiting for me under my bed. So that gives us, I think I've classed them all as YA for now. So that's another 3, so that's 8 YA. And 20, yes, that's 28 books altogether so far. Okay, I think it's safe to say most of what I'm hoarding is middle grade. I'm now surrounded by parts of middle grade. So, no idea where to start. I'll start with this one. So this is Glass House by Catherine Orton. I've been eyeing this book up for a while because of the cover. I'm not going to lie, it drew me in. We've got dancing ghosts, we've got toadstools, we've got a tree with its branches in front of a moon. This takes place on Dartmoor, and there is like a wild and powerful magic, and she lives with her uncle who replaces stained glass windows. It sounds very exciting, sounds very kind of like mystical and kind of nature based, so I thought that sounded really cool. And I got this for 25p from the library because it's been withdrawn from the library. I was like, that's coming home with me. So that was kind of a recent yoink. What is in here? Oh, so I also have another, here we go. So I have 2 Case and Calendar books. So I love Felix Ever After. I've also read another Case and Calendar, and I really wanted to read some of their middle grade work. So I have Hurricane Child, and I have King of the Dragonflies, both of which, it sounds amazing, the stuff and the topics that they cover and explore in here. Both are from World of Books, and I'm gonna have fun peeling off all these stickers. This one's got a plaster over it, and I think when I tried to peel it back it wasn't looking so pretty underneath, so we'll have to work out what I'm doing with that one. But they're going to have nice new homes on my bookshelf eventually. I then have Explorers of Witch Mountain by Alex Bell. This is the second book in the Polar Bear Explorers Club. I have the Polar Bear Explorers Club. I originally read it from the library and then found it in charity shop, bought it for myself, wanted to continue, but just haven't got around to doing it. So I'm going to restart that series at some point when I finished off some other series, but it's really wintry. I want to read it in the winter, and I also want to read it when I feel like I can just be ready to go and read the whole thing. So I do need the third one, but that will happen when it happens. And I have this book I got when I did some book shopping from the Book Nook, and it just really drew me in. I'm really enjoying the sea vibes from this one. This is Antigua de Fortuna of the High Seas. Okay, so her brother gets kidnapped. There is a pirate king. I think it's got feminist vibes in here, and it is written by Anna Rainbow and Ollie Hyatt. And I think when I was looking at it, I was reading the acknowledgements of the authors about what being able to tell the story in this book meant to Ollie Hyatt. Made me feel quite emotional, so I was very keen to pick this one up and read it. I have The Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, which is a very popular fantasy series, and I have not yet read it. I feel this is a bit of a Marmite book because I heard of people who absolutely love this series. I think they say this is not the strongest. So if there is enough in here to kind of keep me engaged, I will carry on. But I've also heard of other people that really did not like this. One of which being my wonderful friend Vadania from Vadania Silver Scribe. She could not stand this book. I think she's triggered by this book. So it's going to be an interesting testament to our friendship if I end up loving this book. We will see what happens. But I've heard of so many people really enjoying it. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? I have The Bridge Home by Padma Venkatraman. And this is a contemporary. think this is a contemporary, and it just made me, I think it deals with like family and, okay, yes, so it's about homeless children and their sort of bravery. I can't remember where it was set. And this is what happens when I cannot remember the books. Anyway, I knew when I was looking at it, and I was looking at the blurb and hearing what everyone said about it. It is has got a sticker on here of the Walter Dean Myers Award for Outstanding Children's Literature. So it's an award-winning book. And I think there are other ones out now that have also got like really good feedback from people. I have 2 books. So these ones I'm probably going to be earning sooner than the others, just because I have already started this series, and these are the next ones. So I have the 3rd book in the Pinch of Magic series by Michelle Harrison, which is A Tangle of Spells, and the 4th book, which is A Storm of Sisters, both with sprayed edges. And I love Pinch of Magic and A Sprinkle of Sorcery, so I'm really keen to pick up with the Widdisham sisters, and I enjoy these again. So I feel these are going to be sort of more top of the list to be earning, because that means I'm finishing a series. Might dive in one of the bags now and see what we have. What have we got here? Okay, so we've got a couple of hardbacks in here. So these are very pretty. So again, another 2nd book. I have The Map Makers by Tamsin Merchant, and I love the cover. Just the drawing, the colours, the children going over the bridge of this London scene, the smoke, the sky. It just looks beautiful. I love the colour palette of all like the pinky purples and the blues and the yellows. It's just like sunsetty colours. I love a good kind of like sunset. And inside we've got purple constellations, and then under the dust jacket we have this gorgeousness of like a map. It says, at the sign of the rose and sea, there you'll find the hidden mouth. Face the north wind and follow him south. Runs the fast river beneath. I believe I've read that the wrong way around. At the sign of the rose and sea, runs the fast river secret beneath. Face the north wind and follow him south. There you'll find the hidden mouth. Makes a lot more sense. Oh, and it says, look to the stars. So this is very beautiful. I have yet to read The Hatmakers, hence why The Hatmakers is still there. But I'm excited about The Hatmakers. I've heard great things from Vadania about The Hatmakers. Fingers crossed. And I have another beautiful book here called The Unadoptables, the 5 Amazing Children and One Most Unordinary Adventure. And this is by Hannah Took and is illustrated by Aisha El Rabino. And here on the back we have this house that says, unafraid, undefeated, unconventional, unforgettable, meet the Unadoptables. So I think these are all about orphan children. We've just got some like little tulipy flower kind of patterns on the end pages. But underneath, look at this. Printed on the dust jacket, we have got a tower called the Little Tulip Orphanage. They were tulips. There we go. That's why there's tulips. The dam square, and this kind of building that looks a little bit like some sort of like House of Parliament. We have a seagull and a seagull or an owl? Owl on the compass. And then we have this little cute Bram Poppen Maker's windmill. We have a windmill on the back. So already overexcited about the beauty of the book presentation. And it's signed as well. Hannah Took. I don't say Took. It looks a little bit like the Merry and Pippin Took. Not Merry, just Pippin. Pippin Took. Yes, Mary's a brandy book. So here we go. We've got a little illustration in there. And I just know that the story from hearing, I think it was both Gavin and Jade said that they really enjoyed this one. And I found it on World of Books. It's just gorgeous to have found such a beautiful copy. It barely looks red on World of Books. So that went in my basket. Note to self, just don't look on World of Books and it will all be fine. It'll be fine. No, that's the pile I've done. So these ones I haven't done. So let's do this before I get confused. Now, this is a teeny tiny book, and this is the fault of Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl and her beautiful collection of Anne of Green Gables. I saw this and I was like, oh. So first of all, you can get a hardback in this cover, with the blue and the roses, and this this Anne with the, she hasn't got pigtails, she usually has pigtails, she's got her hair down, red hair and a hat on, and then I saw a teeny tiny book, and it is, if you lift it up like this, it is the story, and you can read it like that, so it's like you've got a page at a time, and it's just, how cute to carry Anne of Green Gables in your pocket. I was like, well, I need that in my life. So it's just this really cute little penguin edition of a teeny tiny book. I don't know how many other ones they do. It doesn't say, but I think it's just American, because on the back it just says US and Canada. I can't remember where I got this from. It could have been World of Books. It could have been, wouldn't have been Book Deposit. I think it must have been World of Books. So yeah, I have this, and on the back it says, looking forward to things is half the pleasure of them. I love Anne. I love Anne of Green Gables. So this is just so cute. So many books. Really need to be healthy, don't I? So I can start earning and reading these. So that's that one. I haven't been counting. I probably should do a bit of counting. So we're on 40, because that's 12 middle grade. That bag is empty. That bag is empty. That bag is empty. Marvellous. What have we got in this one? Oh, I've missed out a YA. Oh, because it's hiding with a middle grade. Okay, so the middle grade I have here is one I've recently acquired, and it is A Blind Guide to Stinkville by Beth Vrabel. I've had this on my wish list for a while, because I wanted to have more books that featured protagonists with disabilities, and this is about a girl with a visual impairment, and I thought it sounded really cool. It was quite hard to get hold of here in the UK. I think it is set in America. Yeah, so this is it's very floppy, like most American books are, and it's got a really like shiny binding that it almost feels a little bit like a textbook, the way it's done. So this is definitely one that I've I managed to get it from Blackwell's. So Blackwell's had it, which is very helpful. So I haven't really come across it in any of like the UK shops. So very keen to finally, like when I treated myself to, I'm going to order some stuff from Blackwell's. This was one of the ones. So that is exciting. This is a wonderful charity shop find. So this is a YA, and it came to my attention because I think I was watching one of Jessie from BookTube's videos where they were talking about classics where a Black author has done a similar thing that you should try. So this is Girl of Paper and Fire, and it was saying it deals with the same themes that The Handmaid's Tale does, but this is a fantasy, not just a dystopia, and I saw this in a charity shop for £2. So I immediately picked it up, and it has pink sprayed edges, and it is also, it's coming, signed by the author. £2, barely been touched, beautiful. I said, you're coming home with me, you need to be in my collection. And on the spine we have got sort of a pink foiling of Girls of Paper and Fire there. So it is again part of a trilogy, so I'm going to see how I get on with this one. I believe there's a map as well, which looks really cool. And I was like, yeah, there's a map. Woo! So keen for this one. So I think like the subject matter is quite difficult to read, as you'd expect if it's been dealing with stuff that The Handmaid's Tale deals with. But Jessie was talking about how the writing and the storytelling was just really, really good. So excited for this. So this can join the YA pile. So that takes us to 42 books. I have, oh, I thought that was a really thick book then, it's 2. I have Gargantis, and I think this was another charity shop delight, or World of Books. But again, it just looks pristine and totally unread. I have Malamander. I'm very excited to read this series because the protagonists' names are Herbert Lemon and Violet Palmer, and I love a pun. It's called Eerie on Sea. It's sort of monstrous spookiness in a creepy seaside town, and it sounds really cool. So I'm really excited to read this series. I may or may not start it. It depends if I'm feeling in the mood for that kind of thing around spooky season. We will find out. But this is the second one. I feel there's a lot more. So again, I'm a little bit reluctant because of my series thing, but we will see. Speaking of spooky season, I also have this very highly recommended book from many people, including Jack from Spread Book Joy, and that is The Haunting of Avalyn Jones by Phil Hicks. And it says, turn on your torches and join Avalyn Jones. So she loves reading ghost stories. It says it's a spine-tingling book. I'm not great with, I don't read horror. I can do spooky-ish, so we'll see how I get on. But I feel this is like my level of horror. I think I will enjoy this. I will let you know if I eventually earn it and get around to reading it. But I am excited for this one. To the point that I recommended it to Kemi from Violet Pages, because she was mentioning about wanting to read Spooky Middlegrade. And I have a book that I am going to be passing on to a Free Little Library or a charity shop, probably a Free Little Library, that I just feel that I don't think I can read anymore because of the author. So it's such a shame because I heard really good things about this book. It is The Boy at the Back of the Class by Anjali K. Rove, and it feels really sad because she sounds like she's done some amazing stuff for refugees and all of that. But unfortunately, she is being very transphobic on her Twitter page, and it's such a shame that all of that anger and kind of vehementness is being directed towards trans people instead of the other causes that she is interested in. So it's just going to make me feel uncomfortable when I'm reading it, because I'm just going to be linking that to her. So I don't want it here, I don't want to read it, and it's going to go. Gone. Okay, so nicer topics. These were also I found in the charity shop, and this is the, what is the series called? What is the series called? Is it just called like the Dragon series? I don't know. Anyway, instead of working it out, I'll show you the books. So I have Dragon Legend and Dragon Mountain, which is book 1 and 2 by Katie and Kevin Sang in the Dragon Fantasy series. Dragon Realm, I think. It's Dragon Realms. There we go. It's called Dragon Realms, and I know that because I picked up a World Book Day book. It's a free little book set in this world. So I have the first 2, and it looks like there are 5. So again, it's starting a series, and I hear good things. I want to read it. It's got dragons in it, but I need to clear some series. This, I'm not going to earn this one, but I'm just keeping it with these because it would be ridiculous for me to have it out having not read these ones first. So this is not an earn it book because it's a tiny little World Book Day one, but it's just very cute. On the same lines, I have A Strange World Travel Agency, little tiny World Book Day book by L.D. Lipinski, because I'm going to read this series. I feel I'm going to love this series, but like I've already said, I have many series that I could be reading off the books that I already have. I'm not borrowing it from the library that I sometimes do with other books because I know I'm going to want to own it. So this is just gonna like just stay under the bed until I get the other ones, because again, it'd be weird to have it on my shelf. But I feel it seems very popular. It still seems very much in print, so it's not going to go anywhere. So I feel safe to kind of like just hold off until I'm ready for the Strange World Travel Agency moment. Now I have some not fantasy books. And again, this was me wanting to find books that had got sort of like good disability representation and having like protagonists with disability. So the first one I have is Fire Girl by Toni Abbott. And this is a girl who has burns and joins a new school, and it is the children starting to kind of it's about a boy called Tom who makes a strong friendship with Jessica, this girl who is really severely scarred. So it's going to be sort of like finding out a little bit about Jessica and what it's like for her, and managing all of that. It's quite a thin little book and it's quite floppy, which is very cute. Again, I think this is another one that is probably more read and known about in America than it is in the UK. And it's one of those ones where I had to like research and try and find these books rather than seeing them available sort of like in the bookshops. And another one is by Sarah Allen called What Stars Are Made Of. And it says, all you need to change the world is you. So Libby's sister Nonny has Turner syndrome. And so it's about Libby looking out for her sister. It's also something to do with science as well. It sounds, what I've heard people say about it is that it's really it's a very like heartfelt, adorable book. So I want to read it and find out more about it. Going back into some fantasies, I might have another dive in to the bags. Whoop. Oh yeah, here we go. So again, one recentish and one definitely recent acquisition. I have Francesca Gibbons, A Clock of Stars, The Shadow Moth, and A Clock of Stars Beyond the Mountain. So this series, it just looks gorgeous. Look at the illustrations. We've got sparkly clocks, we have moths, we have a giant flying bird, we have sort of like a snow leopard. Illustrations done by Chris Riddell. I adore his drawings. I just think they're incredible. And on this one in particular, look, we have a map as the end pages. I love a Chris Riddell map. For those of you who enjoyed the Edge Chronicles with all their map work. And then on the front, look, we've got a clock of stars and this sparkliness. Woo! That goes around the book. Haven't got that on the second one, but that's fine. We still have some nice end pages and it's still a nice hardbacky feel. So excited to get to these, but again, series. You're going to go down there. And in this bag, I have one more. This is a book that has been on my list for a very, very long time. It took me a while to get hold of because I wanted it in hardback because I just feel it's going to be gorgeous. And this is Alazzo by Darcy Little Badger and illustrated by Ravina Kai. And it just sounds like it's beautiful. It says, imagine an America very similar to our own. It's got homework, best friends and pistachio ice cream. There are some differences. This America has been shaped dramatically by the magic monsters, knowledge and legends of its people, those indigenous and those not. So it goes on to talk about the main character of Alazzo and what she has to manage. Look, we've got wolves under the cover. It's so exciting. So I'm very keen to read this one. I just hear amazing things about it. I thought, oh yeah, and we've got illustrations at the top of the chapters, so I'm very excited. This is the only Indigenous book that I have that is a global majority that I want to find more of their work and read from that culture. And I know that Darcy Little Badger has a second book, not a continuation, it's a different story, that also sounds really good as well. So I'm really keen to read this one. And again, it's just so pretty. So I just need to get on and do some healthy stuff, don't I? Some paperbacks. I have a Sophie Anderson. I have the Castle of Tangled Magic, which is her third book that she released. You don't need to read them in order. I want to read them in publication order just because I think there's like some overlapping within the stories. She tells some sort of like beautiful like Slavic tales. She has like Baba Yaga in her stories. And it just sounds really fairy tale-esque, really whimsical. Her writing's incredible. I love her authorial voice. It's wonderful. So when I was treating myself to some books from World of Books, I had to get Sophie Anderson. So very keen to get to the Castle of Tangled Magic. Unfortunately, it's got a little tear here. And it didn't have it when it came into my house. It got a bit battered under the book drawer. So it was so full that I had it went the drawer shut, but what happened was the book then kind of, once it had been slid under, it then went up and then when I opened the drawer to pull it out, it got caught here. There we go, that way. It got caught and it ripped a bit, so I'm going to need to use my sellotape and give it a little bit of TLC. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad. But it's going to be fine. The story's still going to be great. Ah, here we have another bag. What's in this bag? Aha! So I have a Nedia Corafor. So I love Binti. Binti's amazing. Read Binti this year. Can't wait to read more Nedia Corafor. I do still need to get hold of What Sunny Saw in... No, that was the title I read it by. I need to get hold of Akata Witch, not What Sunny Saw in the Flames. I need to get hold of Akata Witch because I have the others. In the meantime, I saw this on World Books and I'm like, well, yes, I need to read Nedia Corafor. So this is Inkenga. It says the Inkenga gives Namadi awesome powers, but can he learn to control them? And I was not expecting to get this in a hardback. I thought it was just paperback, but no, we have a hardback. And it's very exciting because I love a hardback. We have some gold writing of Inkenga on the side there. Not illustrated, but I love her writing, so I can't wait to read some more Middlegrade by her. This is exciting. And also in my bag, I have a classic. I have A Little Princess. If you can see very well there. There you go. So I have A Little Princess by Franz Hodges Burnett. I really was it other works? Secret Garden, wasn't it? Hold on, it's going to come to me. Yes, it was a Secret Garden. So I've never read A Little Lord Fauntleroy, which is the another one of hers that is famous. I've never read that one. But I read this in my childhood. I have strong memories of reading this and just finding joy and delight from it, and from Sarah's imagination, just like Anne, imagining yourself out of the situation you're in and appreciating what you have inside. And I have not read this for years, so I have a really nice copy. I really love these puffin books with like their floralness and the extra characters in here. So yes, we'll see how I feel when I read it as an adult. Hopefully I will still get the joy from it. I am aware there could be some problematic elements in here just because of the, what's that word? Just because of the colonization of India. So we will see. Right, I now need to answer a phone call, so I'm going to have to stop recording, so enjoy part 2.